Watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Make him work. When you get close, he can't fucking fight in the inside. Trust me. How long you been trusting me? Get close to him and just keep poking. When I say penitentiary, put that knife in him. Put him in him. I
know this. Yeah. And I understand that this shit wasn't easy, but nigga, we did it. Yeah, yeah. And all them hoes and all them niggas that wasn't fucking with us, now we them niggas. And now we rich now. We got money. I don't give a shit, no. And we did it. Young nigga come up from nothing, now he getting to them riches. And it's the life of a young rich nigga.
Separate yourself.
Yeah, I ain't playing with your ass. Nigga, I ain't playing with your ass. You chasing greatness. You got greatness talking to you. Become great. Non-stop. Keep the pace.
I'm down.
Yo. What's going on out there? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boys, the Rize Podcast with your boy, Coach Squeeze, a.k.a. the Smoothie King. Right back at y'all with another one. Happy Friday to each and every one of you out there. God bless y'all in this journey called life. And hope y'all had a safe and blessed week. It's been crazy up out here. People done lost their minds. But we're going to keep pushing on. That's what we do. And let me get the sponsors out of the way, man. Y'all know how we do over here. 5-time world champ, 4 different weight classes, first ballot Hall of Famer, Baltimore's own GTD Promotions, redesigning minds one mind at a time. We know a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Shout out to www.kenichibed.com. Use code TRP. You'll get 15% off. Also, go over there to www.narslipgallery.org. Go over to his page. Use the code RIZE10. You'll get 10% off. He got 2 new fire hoodies, 2 new colors. Go over there and check his website. Any artists in the ring and out of the ring. If you need some art work done and the display in your home, this young man does that also. He's an entrepreneur. So that's the more that we should support him. Louis Vuitton don't need no more money. Jordan definitely don't need no more money. Let's get Damari Slip Filson up there at that status. Shout out to MidKillerB.com. Go over to her page, support her and her merch. Shout out to Richie Baby for the 5 intros and edits. Shout out to Miss Nikki, a.k.a. Miss Olivia Pope, Bad Girls Promotions, Coach Brandy, EOE Education Over Everything, my brother Movement, and happy belated birthday to him. His birthday was yesterday. I'm sending him a shout out. God bless him to see another year, make it around the moon again. Shout out to Under Armour. Thanks for all that you do for the kids in the gym. Hardcore Boxing News, Stretched Out Boxing, Aunt McQueen Boxing, AO Clothing Line, Pro Soul Gear, Boxing, and Clothing Line, Richie Threads. Don't forget to come down to 1901 Pennsylvania Avenue, Coach Calvin and Kenny Way. Get your Shari Essentials 12 rolls for $7. Shout out to Maurice Jones and Jenny Jones over there at 15 rounds of boxing every Wednesday night. And last but not least, Official Gear Boxing. All the fighters ran it. Y'all can say it with me in the chat. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Box. Raw. All right, y'all. Let's get this party cracking tonight. We got 2 esteemed guests in the house. Well, they ain't guests, they family. You know what I mean? And they moving forward like a tsunami. Gray hit you. You know, Jalil Hackett versus Xander Zayas for the belts. Jake Paul versus Tank, and why the gloves matter. You know, we can really get this party cracking. What's going on?
What's up, champ? How you feeling? Bring them on in.
All right, bring them. Okay, I got the orders, y'all. I got the paperwork. Bring them in. The mad scientist say bring them in. Without further delay, without further ado, you already know when it's all said and done, gonna be one of the pound for pounds greats, one of the hardest working men in show business. I don't even know. They say 365 days in a year, but in this young man case, it's 375 days in a year. I think he take 2 days and roll it up in one. The only, I call him personally. That's my opinion. Y'all can get mad all y'all want. I can call him what I want. The hitman himself, Jalil Hackett, and you already know his partner in crime, Mr. Bernard Hackett.
How you doing, man?
What's going on, champ? Right back.
Hold up. You got too much feedback, man. You got too much feedback, man.
Hey, I don't think that's me. I think it was when my father joined all that feedback.
No, that's Mr. Bernard. That's Mr. Bernard. You got too much feedback, Mr. Bernard.
Now you gotta put him up. When I get my time. And y'all get him when y'all get him, man.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and do this for you then.
When you fight Jalil,
You hear me now?
do you have the same attitude that your uncle had?
Jalil.
Oh wow.
Big dog in that water, he gon'
You got your
swim.
ears on, champ.
Regardless, he got a couple bands on him. He don't need no wallet. Get away from him. He's a trending topic, and that's why they hate on him. He come from the bottom. It's a snake in that grass. You gotta watch him. Always keep your gun on you. Gotta watch him. Everybody not your friend, mama. She told me. Everybody can't go to the top, mama. She
Who got music on? I don't hear.
Hold up,
Mama, she told me. Mama, she told me. Ever since he was a youngin', all he knew was chase them bands. Ain't nobody give him nothing. So how can he depend on them? He come up from nothing. Heart so cold, feel like it was frozen. I left a note by your doorway, guess it wasn't open. I'm so used to being closed and not really outspoken. Every time I try to love someone, my heart end up broken. I guess it ain't easy to love someone when your love is stolen. Yes, that's my fault for keeping my feelings attached.
I took my first loss in December last year. I was supposed to get the rematch in March. I got injured. Bro, people talk bad about me after that shit, bro. They just wrote me off. So it's like, to get back here, even this, leading up to this, you know, they say you find a guy 8-0, he gonna beat you. You gonna be working at Walmart after this fight. I was like, nah, bro. I ain't ever give up on myself. That's all, bro.
All the pain I went through, wouldn't wish it on you. So tell me, why would you wish it on me?
Shout out to Richie Baby. Shout out to Richie Baby. He do you right, Jalil.
Hey, that shit was hard. I ain't even gonna hold it. That shit was hard. I fuck with it.
Mr. Bernard, what's going on, Mr. Bernard?
Man, ain't nothing. Man, I'm enjoying the ride, champ. Enjoying the ride.
Man, I see it's a snowball rolling down the hill.
Hey, man, if you only knew.
Bigger and bigger.
Hey, I was told by a large podcast after the fight, if y'all can make a spark, then call me back. If y'all can make a flame, I'll call you. They calling us now.
Oh shit. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. What's your thoughts, Jalil? What you want next? What's on your mind?
We all know who I want next, man.
What's on your mind?
We've been saying Xander's name since September 11th. You know, immediately after the fight, we've been saying his name. You know, we've been saying the new WBA champ's name. You know, those are two guys on the chopping block right now for me. You know, if we get those fights, you know, we want those fights sooner than later. And if we can't get them as our immediate fight, we definitely want them in 2026.
So I was saying, Xander and this team was saying something. How likely is it for us to get that fight?
I feel like it's becoming more and more likely by the day. You know, we getting close to the top of the year where he's looking like he's looking forward to making his homecoming fight in January. You know, we almost at October and he still don't have a locked in opponent. So, you know, we on the short list of opponents for him right now. We just waiting to get that call.
You trying to be his Huckleberry.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Straight out of Tombstone, baby. Straight out of Tombstone.
I'll be your Huckleberry. I get it.
That's right.
Man, listen. I sent him a DM, try to see if I can get him on here. You know what I mean? See if I can bring all y'all on here together. I'm gonna try to make it happen, but I like the traction that it's getting. I've been seeing it trending all around. I'm hoping we get it.
Hey man, I think it's not out of the realm of possibility. I think we more than made a statement, and I think we gave the fans facts. I think a lot of times you'll give the fans your opinion, and then they give you their opinion. But we actually presented facts. It's the best fight that you can make at 154 pounds right now, and it's reminiscent of Tommy Hearns, Ray Leonard 1. They were both 22. Well, Tommy was 22, Ray was 24. They were both in the prime of their careers. Ray had one loss, and Jalil has one loss. Tommy was undefeated. Neither one of those guys' careers took a single hit by fighting each other that early. In fact, they went on to have Hall of Fame careers. So, you know, for us, it just makes sense. And if you think about it, I know it's crazy to say, we almost saving Xander, for real, be honest with you.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't think it's an almost save. I feel like if we fight this fight, you know, we give him this, you know, he's looking for an opponent. I feel like it's a real save, you know, because I feel like he's in a situation where he needs an opponent. And he needs a opponent that the fans feel like is worthy. You know, they don't want to throw him in there with Joe Nobody for his homecoming fight, you know, because then, you know, the Puerto Ricans are very prideful. You know, I feel like they might talk down on him for taking a lesser opponent. And, you know, such a big fight for his first world title defense at home.
I want to say shout out to the Puerto Rican people, because when we went on another podcast and we said they're going to bring up a 47, get him ranked real quick, and then they're going to let him fight him. And then we said it's probably going to be Santillan, the in-house guy. 2 days later, that's what they did. And guess what? The Puerto Rican fans, after hearing what we said, they went so crazy. Xander's team said, nah, we ain't doing that. We can't do that. Our people are not going to take it. So Santillan was off the table. And a boss, from my understanding, what I'm hearing, he won $5 to $7 million to go to Puerto Rico. That's not even a $5 to $7 million fight for both fighters in total. So that's not gonna happen. So what else do they got to turn to that the fans will accept, other than a fighter who came and got shafted in Puerto Rico? But it wasn't the Puerto Rican people's fault. We willing to come back there and knock your man out, and then go to New York and knock him out in his second building. So we would have knocked him out in both his buildings.
You get ear squeeze? You got your ears on?
Yeah.
Hey, Sam, you always be coming for my man Squeeze. I ain't gonna let you do that tonight.
No, I'm making sure you can hear because he wasn't saying that. I'm making sure you can hear.
How am I say something and y'all talking, yo?
I'm trying to make sure you in on the conversation.
I am. I'm sitting here listening.
They ain't see you nodding, brother. They ain't see you nodding.
Then Mr. Bernard was cooking.
I thought we was going around.
Last time I got an email, I was talking over everybody. I'm confused with this shit. This shit at 56 years old, Mr. Bernard, this too much for me. I'm like, this the fight of my life, Jalil. I hope you come see it. No, you seeing it.
They in the chat
hey, look, the people know I'm talking now. You asked me to talk. I'm talking. See, no, you go ahead. You go ahead. I'll sit back and chill. That's what I'm talking. I can't say nothing. I'm the host. I'm the toast of the show. Yeah. I'm the toast of the show. Yeah. Go ahead. That's it.
Man.
I don't want no smoke.
Like I said.
This gonna be like Jake Paul and Tank, man, Senior. This gonna be like Jake Paul and Tank, yo.
Man, y'all
like,
I heard you, Mr. Bernard.
He like 250, 6'3", and some change.
195.
You know, I'm like, I'm about 160, 62. I've been grinding hard. You know what I mean? Who you got, Mr. Bernard?
I like Senior, man. You know that youth on this side.
I'm going with the Smoothie King. I'm going with my man. I'm working dedication.
Jalil must get that free money away.
Hey man, y'all wild, man. Y'all always wild. But nah, when you think about it, don't be real. Y'all know boxing. Every time we get into a real conversation about boxing, all the jokes go aside and we talk real boxing. When you think about this 154 division, look at this. And I'm putting Jalil and Xander in the same boat. If they fought Fundora, if they fought Ortiz, if they fought Bouts, if they fought Muatayev, all four of those guys, Jalil and Xander would be the underdog to those guys. Age, experience, all that type of stuff. If you look at Xander fighting Fundora, Muatayev, and Abbas, if he loses, he don't get a rematch because those are unification bouts. If he fights Jalil, that's the only true 50-50 world title fight that can be made at 154. All four of those guys I named, they got fights already. But if they lose, the public is going to call it an upset. So that means those fights are lopsided going in. Jalil and Xander can actually take the play away from the entire 154-pound division by simply saying we're fighting each other. Fans are tired of paying $100 to see a mismatched fight in a title fight. They're tired of paying it. So if you got Jalil and Xander and you got any of those four fights, which you know the outcome is already predetermined unless you see an upset, what you gonna pay your $100 to see? Two young lions that could be starting a war that goes on for the next 10 years, a rivalry, or guys that's trying to get their payout check?
I'm always looking to see Mr. Belt the ass in action anyway.
That's how you can look at it. When you talk about that fight, I had people who gave me a call when they saw the post I put up because they never thought about it like that. And I said, Xander and Jalil are the only two fighters at damn near any weight class that can give you a fight that's reminiscent of Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard 1. And we know that's a boxing classic. There's no other division where you have two young fighters, relatively the same age, two young fighters that had the amateur pedigree and background that they had, and two young fighters that have different ways of winning fights. Those are all the recipes for greatness. You got to look at their record. Their record combined is something like 32-1. Tell me any of those other 4 fights that the records give you that. If you look at it, Fundora fighting Fundora's fight Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman, yeah.
Keith Thurman was a great fighter in his day, but this is not his day. His day is gone. You got Boots fighting Usman Lima. Nobody on planet Earth knew about Usman Lima. He's from overseas. He's fought most of his competition over there. He is the IBO champion, but like I was told when I was trying to fight for it doesn't hold that much meaning. So now you go to Ortiz and Hamilton. Ortiz is the preeminent favorite. They've already scheduled a possible fight between him and Boots for February. So this is a formality fight in the eyes of both promoters. So if that's what they want you to buy, why would you buy that as opposed to Jalil Hackett versus Xander Zayas, two young lions who don't have a history of losing, and they always give you everything they got every time they enter the ring. And you know you're going to see it twice if it goes the predictable way that we think. Jalil knocks him out. Whether it's late knockout, whether it's whatever, as long as it's after the 5th round and they both in a war, the Puerto Rican fans going to support a rematch. Puerto Rican fans are not stupid to the art of boxing. They know this game. And they don't just support their winners. They support their guys that put their heart on the line and lose. So you guarantee 2 fights. Now I'm going to be the devil's advocate while my son is right here on the phone. In the second fight, let's say Xander pulls out a decision. Then what do you think the great matchmaker, the great promoter, Bob Arum, is going to do? He's going to say, I'm going to get the trilogy. So if you get a trilogy, these boys might take 2 years to give you a trilogy. By that time, they're almost 25 years old. But all of those guys in front of them, if not retired, they'll be in their mid to late 30s. Some of them already in their late 30s. Jalil and Xander can literally put the 154-pound division for the rest of those guys on pause. Because they got to wait to see what they do. Because they took all the play away. Tell me whatever fight you wanted to see after you saw Tommy Hearns and Ray Leonard fight each other in that division. You didn't want to see no other fight. You wanted them back. What you say on that, Leo?
I feel like the only fight you really wanted to see, you wanted to see them niggas fight each other again. Realistically, you really wanted to see them niggas fight each other again. Wasn't really nothing else. You know, of course, later on down the line, we end up getting Hagler and Ray Leonard, you know, but in that immediate moment, based on me watching the fight, you know, obviously I wasn't born, but everybody I talked to, they said after they seen the first fight, they wanted to see them fight again. That's the fight that they wanted to see.
Mm-hmm. So in that respect, this would be basically Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns. It would be Jalil Hackett, Xander Zayas. So it would be 2.0. If you're getting the same thing, but in a 2.0 situation. In a day and time where boxing needs rivalries. Most of the top rivalries that you got in boxing, you know where those rivalries happen at? Social media. They thumb wrestle. They never get into the ring, but they thumb wrestle. For whatever reason. I'm bigger than him. He bigger than me. I'm worth more. He don't do this for me. But right now, these two are at the same starting line. The only difference is Top Rank did the work. Xander did the work to become the champion. But they're at the same starting line. This is the only 50-50 fight you can get that fans would not pay for another 50-50 fight because it don't exist. No other 50-50 fight exists. Just look at the history of boxing. This is not me saying it. In the recent history, Turkey Al-Sheikh wanted to have Ortiz versus Boots. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel like it'll be a Hagler Hearns type fight, and let's not discredit those guys. Those are Hall of Fame and some of the greatest fighters to ever put gloves on. But in this new day and age, you know, over time things develop and things get better. You know, the older guys say, "Oh, Michael Jordan this, Michael Jordan that." You know, Clyde Drexler this, Clyde Drexler that. All them old basketball players, bring them up. But at the end of the day, if we be honest and we put Steph in 1990, 1980, he gonna average 50 points because he can shoot the bitch from across the street. Simple.
Don't do that, Jalil.
Don't do that. Now you talking crazy. Now you talking crazy.
Let me talk.
In
Let me talk.
the age of hand checking back then, no sir, no sir.
I'm gonna let you talk, but let me just tell you this: I respect your mind too much for you to do that blasphemy.
Let me talk, because the phone is on the charger, but the battery is dropping. So I got to get my shit on. The fact of the matter is, nowadays, it's much more exciting than it was in the older days. And that's in all sports, realistically in life. Life is just much more exciting. So a fight with me and Xander will be super fireworks all 3 times. Every fight will be like your first time watching it, you know. So with that being said, y'all need to push for the fight. All the fans need to push to see us fight, and y'all gonna get one of the best fights y'all ever seen in y'all life. I appreciate you, Smoothie King. I appreciate you, Senior. When it cut out, I'm staying on, but when it cut out, my phone died.
Got you, champ.
Mr. Bernard.
His phone died because his phone battery thought he was crazy.
I give you compliment after compliment every time I see you, Mr. Bernard. I tell you what a marvelous job you've done with Jalil.
I know some young people in here. That could agree with me. More often than
no.
Not, y'all swear to everything better. It's niggas in the 60s that say y'all generation ain't shit compared to their generation. As the time goes on, the generation before it always gonna say the generation after it worse. So it is what it is.
I'm on.
That man's crazy.
I'm gonna agree to disagree.
I'm just speaking fact.
I'm gonna agree to disagree. Because once again, if Steph played back in the hand checking days, he's not averaging nothing near what he's gonna give you about 15, and that's a good solid 15. But he's not gonna get the freedom. He's not gonna get the freedom to keep tossing that ball in the air. Because guess what? That when we played, it was in the days of centers. You went through your big man. A big man gonna slap fire out of his ass when they get in the locker room because he done jacked up 25 shots and he down in the paint wide open. Cut it out.
Hey, Smoothie, hey, Senior, he ain't gonna slap him if he throw up 25 and he hit 23 of them motherfuckers.
He's not hitting 23 of them in the days of hand checking. He's not hitting 23 shots in the days of hand checking.
Let's not get off topic. The fact of the matter is, a trilogy in this day and age will be much more better than a trilogy from back in the day because we trying to fight. We kind of like them, but we more. I feel like we could do more. We could get the fans more. We trying to fight. We do too much hard work. We put all these supplements and spend all this money on our body. We gonna give the fans the best fight they want to see. That's simple. That's what it is. You know. So
I think just being young, y'all gonna do that. I think just being young and y'all got the mentality and the testosterone saying I'm a lion, y'all gonna go in there and damn near half-ass kill each other, and y'all ain't even getting 30, 40 million. But guys is getting 30, 40 million. One of them dudes making a business decision and not coming back out the corner.
And we gonna do that shit 3 times in a row. If it's 2 good fights and we both split one apiece, we gonna do it a 3rd time.
But I definitely know the first one we knocking him out. The first one, we don't have a choice. We go to Puerto Rico, it's not being arrogant or nothing. He's getting knocked out.
We've been over there and we know how I get over.
Dang, my man gone. Hey, Mr. Jalil.
Hey, bro.
Mr. Jalil. You know, I give you compliment after compliment after compliment for the job you've done with Jalil. But that blasphemy that he just spoke on the Rize podcast, Mr. Jalil,
I don't back that.
That's your
I don't
work.
back that. Bro, I don't back that. Bruh, this the same crazy man that was on Twitter Monday talking about the Eubanks Jr. and Conor Ben fight is not a real fight. Only reason we like it because of their parents. I said, boys, you crazy. The first fight, I might have let you slide with that. But the second fight, I want to see that because they put on a fight.
Yeah.
Your boy is mad, man. Look here. Do not take into account because they great athletes, that they great thinking athlete motivators. They're not. I had to go on Twitter and say, boy, he has lost his mind. I want to see that fight. I want to see Conor Ben and Chris Eubanks. I'm going to say this, based on their first fight, that's a $20 million a piece fight.
Yeah. What? I like that. I like that fight.
That fight gonna be fireworks. And for anybody to say anything different, once again, that's when you say he young, y'all. Don't pay him no attention. He just young. He young. Pat him on top of his head. He young. He's sorry. Yeah, I'm not going for that. But when it comes to that Xander fight, hey, bro, can you imagine what comes to the table? Listen here, in Puerto Rico, where we love the fans, we ain't never said nothing bad about Puerto Rico. We disagree with the decision, but it is neither here nor there. But in Puerto Rico, they fill up a building. Do you understand that Jalil loves fighting guys in their backyard where he feel the crowd is against him? And do you realize the pressure that Xander Zayas is under when that whole crowd is behind him, but he taking fire that he's never taken before? And he has to stand up. That Puerto Rican heart, that Puerto Rican crowd, gonna make him stand up. Jalil fuck around and do him like Dooku Kim, man. No bullshit. Because his heart ain't gonna, the boy heart ain't gonna quit. Xander is not gonna quit. I'm telling you that for a cold-blooded fact. He's not gonna quit. His team will have to stop him on the stool because they gonna do the business thing. He got a rematch in the pocket. It was a great 7 rounds, great 8 rounds. But if we send him back out there, he gonna get Manny Pacquiao. He gonna get the Marquez Manny Pacquiao treatment, and he gonna be flat on his face. That might be hard for him to overcome and get a rematch. So let's stop it here. Let the corner stop it so it looked great. And then let's fight him again in New York. That's what they're gonna do. In New York, no bullshit. They gonna ask for a ring so big you'd have thought they was playing on the New York Knicks basketball court. They gonna tell him, as long as you land 2 jabs and run per round, we gonna ease out of here with a decision, because they're already setting up for a third fight. When they set up for a third fight, the third fight is gonna be one of them fights that everybody say, I gotta be there. But once again, that's me playing devil's advocate, playing down the middle. Me playing the trainer of Jalil Hackett and the father of Jalil Hackett. If he knocks you out once, whether it was in sparring or whatever, he can always do it again. Anybody he's knocked out once and they spar more than 3 or 4 times, he's knocked them out again every time. It's like once he push your button, he know that button to push. If he knocks Xander out twice, I'm telling you up front, they're going to say the weight was too much for Shawty and he's moving up to 60. And we ain't got no problem with that. I hope he become a giant at 60. And we be doing this like a 1960s movie. Let's do it again. I'm telling you, man, it's real. Man, you don't understand how real this foolishness is. And I'm going to do something that I don't never do. You know, me and Bill is arch enemies. You know, if it was a Marvel comic, one of us gonna be Lex Luthor, the other one gonna be Superman. You know, me and Bill clash. We clash like oil and water. We go at it every time, whether it's on Twitter, face to face, whatever. But let me tell you something. I gotta give. Even Superman gave Lex Luthor his credit when he had a good idea. I seen him after Jalil fights. We at the hotel. I seen him in the hallway of the hotel. I run up on him. I say, "Hey, fake ass pimp!" That he turned around. He was like, "Oh, cut it out." He say, "Hey, bruh, you know your son hot as fish grease right now after that knockout. I heard him say he wants Xander." He said, "If you got sense, you're going to talk about it every day. They going to first tell you you lost your mind. Then they going to tell you it don't make sense. Then they going to tell you, hey, you might got something. Then they going to say, Let's see how it play out. He said, but you got to stick to it in order to get to that point. And do you know when I first started, they said everything that man said. But he said you got to stick to it every day, beat it down. Then he taught me the algorithm. I didn't know this. Hey, bro, I'm not ashamed to say somebody taught me something, no matter who taught it to me. He says, you want to know if it's picking up steam? He said, every day, go to your Google search and say Jalil Hackett versus Xander Zayas. It's going to tell you what the internet world is saying, because that's algorithm. So if somebody tell you that it ain't picking up no steam, just check that. I started doing that every day. The more we talked about it, the more other people started talking about it, other podcasts. That joint is picking its own steam up. And once again, I don't say nobody's name because I respect people who give me, inside information. They was like, you might be on the outside of the list, but you're on the short list for them to fight. And that's because of y'all. When I say y'all, I'm gonna keep it a beat. Like everybody had me on their podcast. I've been saying the same thing. The podcasters are the new Nielsen rating system. Do you know what the Nielsen rating system is?
Break it down for me, please.
In television in the past, years ago, they had select people who they would offer a Nielsen box to. And they would pay you XYZ amount of money, nothing big, just nominal, just to track your TV habits. You hook the Nielsen box up to your TV and just watch TV like you normally do. That's how they know the popular shows, the unpopular shows. They know what can sell, what can't sell. So now fast forward to our day, because people don't really watch TV no more. They watch internet. So you all are on the internet. Every podcaster lets everybody know how good their podcast doing. Every platform lets you know how many followers, how many people watch your videos, all of that. So the promoters, they actually give information to the podcasters, and the podcasters put it out. When they put it out there, that's the Nielsen ratings. How many fans say this is a good fight? How many fans say this is a bad fight? How many fans show interest? What's the peak level? If it gets a high peak level, they make that fight because that means they can make money off of it. If it doesn't get any peak level, then that's just you talking because they don't see a way of making money off of it. That is what you all do. The podcasters are the new Nielsen ratings. If all the podcasters are saying, this is the fight, and then the fans are saying, this is the fight, then guess what? The promoters are businesses. They say, this is the fight we want to make. Mm-hmm. Now, when you talk about Jalil and Xander, why it makes sense. If Jalil and Xander fight now, that fight may cost the promoter $2 million in total. $2 million. That's Xander getting 1.5. That's Jalil getting 500,000. That's realistically what it is. It may even be Jalil getting Xander getting 1.75 and Jalil getting 250. That's just the reality of life. But it cost them $2 million, and they had a sellout crowd. That means the promoter made money. Don't count the fighters because that's what they had to pay the purse. But if they made $15, $18 million, then when you look at it, they made big checks, what they ultimately want to do. Mm-hmm. Now, if you take let's take a super fight, Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford. Let's say together they made $2 million. Bud makes $75 million. Canelo make $125 million. That's $200 million. But let's say the fight in total, let's say it made $300 million. The promoter made $100 million because after he paid them and that shit, they made $100 million. Mm-hmm. If they make anything else, it's off the other stuff they have to do. But when you can do it with young fighters multiple times, do you know how many times Jalil and Xander will have to fight in order for them to make $200 million? They had to fight 100 times. Whereas Bud and Canelo was once, and the promoter made $100 million. That's my example. Jalil and Xander could fight 3 times. The promoter in total all 3 fights combined, they might have paid both of them at the end of the day 20, 25 million apiece for 3 fights. But they made 200 million. Because each time the fight is good, that means the money went up. But the money went up for the fighters as well, but it never eclipsed what they made. That's how promoters make their money. Just think about it. What did Bob Burns say when Bud left? He said, man, I could have built 6 mansions for the money I lost. When he left, that's what he said. This not me making up now. This is what he said. So if the promoters are saying that, then they want young fighters. And then the young fighters are willing to fight each other because they didn't grow up in the element of the O. That was the era before them. You gotta remember, they're just starting their era. The other guys, the Charlos, the Bouts, the Fondoras, the Keith Thurmans, all of them grew up in the era of the O signifies how good you are. So a lot of them dudes weren't able to make fights because it's too risky to lose my O. Now these youngest, next generation, Turkey Al-Sheikh is making them understand your O don't mean nothing unless it's making you some money. But you could be a 1-loss, 2-loss fighter and made 40 million. You could be a 30-0 fighter and you ain't made 300,000. So is the O worth it? So now he letting these young guys see, fight, make the money. Your legacy is what you can put on your family's table, not what you can put in the fans' mind. Give them the fights they want to see, you'll make them again. So now when you look at it, just business-wise, all I'm talking is business. If you got the Charlos, you got Booch, you got Fondora, you got Ortiz, you got Keith Thurman. If all of those guys over the last 10, 15 years been used to guaranteed purses of 5 to 7 million, because the PBC era was giving them dudes that bag. Adrian Braun, all them was getting that bag. If they used to that type of money, and they was getting that in their 20s, and they in their mid to late 30s, do you think they going to fight Jalil or Xander for $2 million?
No.
Them dudes ain't even getting out of bed to start training camp for $2 million. They done said it before. I'm not getting out of bed for $2 million. So if you fight Xander or Jalil right now, and you're a Charlo, if you one of them and you fight them right now, and they offer you $2 million, you saying, bro, I'm not fighting them for $2 million. I vacate my belt if I fight them for $2 million. I'm a $7 million guy. So if that's the case, let's say it go to a purse bid. The purse bid is $3 million. Then it's a 70-30 split, 70-30, 60-40. They still not making nowhere near the money they want. They'll vacate the belt first. We've seen that happen with dudes vacate titles for a big money fight. Bevo and the guy that he fought 2 times. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name. It was a great fight.
Beterbiev?
Yeah, better be. He gave up one of his belts. He said, brother, you got to be crazy. I'm going to face the mandatory for less money. When I can fight him again for more money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Turk bringing to boxing. Just make the best fights. He bringing it to boxing. Look what the man just did with Netflix. He gave you a supersonic, once-in-a-lifetime fight and didn't tell you do nothing but get a Netflix account. The man turned the boxing on his head because he's saying, give him the great fights. The money will be there. But the days of the 100 million, 200 million for one night, those days, that was these are the last days you'll see them. When you see the Canelos and them step away, you won't see them $100 million nights. It'll go back to realistic fights with realistic money. It'll go back to the Marvin Hagler in them days where you could see a blockbuster fight. Both guys saw 25 or 30 million. But that make it where we can fight again. Ain't too many fighters like Floyd Mayweather and Canelo. I see 100 million. What Floyd say? It's hard to get up and train when you sleep on silk sheets.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say Floyd must still sleep on cotton because he get up and train. You give a dude that. Look what Marcos Maidana did after he fought Floyd twice. That man said, if I throw a glove, it'd be throwing it across the room to hit my son in the head. I'm not throwing no more gloves on my hand. That's life-changing money. The only way you see this happen is letting young fighters fight each other for 15, 20 million. If you give Jalil $3 million, you give Xander $3 million, man, Slim, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight like a pack of wild dogs because they've never seen $3 million. Neither one of them have ever seen $3 million. And if you get that the first time, the promoter send it in a rematch, they willing to give both of them $5 million. Because guess what? They made their money the first time. They're gonna make it the second time. In order for them dudes to get $18 million, they got to fight each other 3 times. It went from 3 to 5 to 7 to 18. In 3 fights, they still ain't eclipsed $60 million, $50 million. That's why it makes sense.
No,
Just from the business of it. You want to defend your, when people do, I tell people, don't defend Jalil by saying, man, that fight don't need to happen because he a whitewasher. I don't get paid if your mind tells me I'm a whitewasher. I only get paid when you force me to whitewash it.
Mm-hmm.
These errors happen for a reason. Ali and them didn't have social media, but at the time they were living, they broke the bank. Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler didn't have social media, but at the time that they were going, they broke the bank. If I'm not mistaken, I think Marvin Hagler got 25 million and Ray got something like 35 million, 40. Mm-hmm. If you do the calculator and ask what that is today, that's the $100 million fights. Once again, boxing did everything, every era that came through here, boxing did everything it could, got to the biggest number, but then it had to reset itself. You can only reset it by going back to younger fighters. And then those guys, if God willing, the Xanders, the Jalils, the Masons, the Vargases, those guys will matriculate their money up to the max dollar. They'll be in their mid-30s. And then if you ask them to fight a 24-year-old, they'd be like, bro, this shit crazy. I'm not fighting him, not for $2 million. And then at that point, boxing will reset itself again. The sport is made to reset itself. We just happen to be at the crossroads of a resetting. That's all. We at a crossroads of a resetting. And that's the beautiful part of it. When Al Heyman first came into the boxing, Floyd Mayweather was just starting, Berto was just starting, and the guys that were the Roy Joneses, the De La Hoyas, they were on their way out. They had maxed out the money, and now it was time for boxing to reset itself. When I say reset itself, people don't understand what I'm saying. If you were a De La Hoya fan or a Roy Jones fan, that means you was between the age of, when you started being their fan, maybe 17 and 30. You was between the ages. Mm-hmm. That age and time, you don't have the financial responsibility that you do when you in your mid-30s, late 30s. So guess what? That's the resetting, the fan base. The fan base is the resetting. When Floyd came along, his fan base, 17 to 30, and they went to all the Floyd fights, they went to all the parties, all that. When Floyd is at 48 years old, how old is his fan base? They're in that same age group. Right. Yeah. So at 48 years old, Mixed Movie King, we're not going to see Floyd live for $10,000 a seat, and we got grandchildren and everything else. But the guys in their 30s, the Jalils, they gonna do it because that's what they're supposed to do. So now the Charlos and all those guys, me and Coach Squeeze, we was the fan base for them. We might go to the fight, but guess what? You doing it for the reason of your podcast and business. I'm doing it to see what the future holds. But if we wasn't doing that, we'd be watching that in our bedroom. We're not going to spend $5,000 or $10,000. We at the point where boxing is resetting itself again. The Charlos in their 30s, mid-30s, upper 30s, Keith Thurman the same way. All their fan base is saying, I love to see the fight on TV. But I got 2 children. I got 3 grandchildren. I got a daughter in college. I can't justify spending that money. But Jalil and Xander's fan base, the 17 through 30 years old, they can justify spending that money. That's what I mean by boxing is resetting itself. Them guys ain't. You can't tell. Go get a 21-year-old and tell me. Are you more? Ask that 21-year-old. Are you interested in seeing Jalil fight Jamel Charlo and Xander fight Jamal Charlo, or are you more interested in seeing Jalil fight Xander and Xander fight Jalil? It's a no-brainer. They're gonna say we want to see Jalil and Xander because that's their age group fan base. That's just real. We grew up on LL Cool J. Unless you played it for your kids, our kids don't know that much about no LL Cool J unless they watch him in the movie. It's not their base. How many people knew that MC Hammer was writing a lot of songs for Death Row?
No, I ain't know that.
He was writing a lot of songs for Death Row. But you wouldn't have bought that from MC Hammer. But you bought his words through a young guy of that time.
Mm-hmm.
We are the absolute best fight to usher in the complete changeover of the guard. We it. That's just real.
I'm gonna put
None of them dudes looking to fight us. We looking to fight our generation.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. That Coach Squeeze, that's real. You ain't looking forward to Abdullah Mason fighting Tank. You ain't looking forward to that. You looking forward to Abdullah Mason fighting somebody like Schofield. It just makes more sense. Tank is not coming down from them monster paydays to something that he probably spent on 2 cars to fight Abdullah Mason. Make it make sense for the business. If fans truly love fighters and not promotion companies, then tell these promotion companies, give me the fights we want to see. Give us them fights. Right now, them the fights that make sense. Schofield versus Mason. Jalil versus Xander. Those are the type of fights. Those are it. When Tank was in his heyday, they had, and not that he's out, but I'm saying when he was in his mass rush, Tank was fighting people that you wanted to see him fight. That's what made PBC ride that Tank wave, and Tank created the wave. Not just he was a rock star, he was a rock star performing against other rock stars. They not coming to see the Golden Girls and LL Cool J when they can go see NBA Youngboy and all that type of stuff. That don't make sense to us. I'm not never spending a dime to see NBA Youngboy. But I shouldn't be spending a dime because that's not my generation. But for these young kids, that's their generation. The generations are switching. The guard is changing. And the only person that seems to see the guard changing is Turkey Al-Sheikh. Turk putting the fights on. He want to call them 50-50 fights. I call them the fights the fans want to see. That's what it is.
93% of the people on here want to see the fight. I just dropped a poll, and so far, 93% of the people that's on here watching want to see the Jalil versus Zayas fight.
Hey, bro, let me tell you something that I got some good information on. When y'all finish these polls, do not underestimate the power you have. I told every JBT, I've been telling Zay, all them, when y'all do these polls, send them to the promoters, send them to the managers you know, because your polls are actually the Nielsen ratings, brother. They watch your polls. Let me tell you something. I done seen Eddie Hearns himself from his Instagram page click the like button on more stuff than I've ever seen an individual like Bob Earn, one of them, ever do. Why? Because Eddie Hearns understands we're in the social media age.
Definitely, most definitely there.
If you showing him, hey, brother, we know you doing this with boots, and you should, because the boots, Fundora, that type of stuff happen. But you know you got these two young boys. Eddie a businessman. Eddie is a pure businessman. If it make business sense. That's why I told people before, what we gonna get mad at Eddie about? Eddie told his opinion on our fight, but then Eddie called us and said, hey, get ready for the rematch. We got injured. Why you think somebody giving their opinion is hating you? It's their opinion. At the end of the day, he stroked another check for Jalil. That's what we got to look at. The days of shelving the guy, the days of letting the pot boil over, making the pot get big, those days are done. Ain't no boil over and make it get big. Turkey Island Sheik took that pot off the stove that these other promoters was in December, and he threw that water out. He said, let's throw that water out. All you doing is making my pot hot and evaporating the water. He said the fight already hot. That's what he's saying. When he gave us our opportunity on that underdog joint, we couldn't choose who we wanted to fight. He said, I want true 50-50 fights. And every one of them fights was a 50-50 fight. You got to show that you're not a 50-50 dude. If you're not a 50-50 dude, like Jalil told his opponent, good young man, Elijah Vines, he said, you good, I'm just better than you. All right, well, go show me. I take that back to Tank. When Tank had that Pedraza fight, he had to show PBC, the world, Mayweather, I'm just better than him. He's good, I'm just better. That didn't put Pedraza down, it just said, I'm better than you. We definitely saying Xander and Jalil are generational talents that if you put them in the same ring while it's worth it, then they'll give you a generational fight. Tommy Hearns and Ray Leonard, at the end of the day, they took all the weeds away and said, we fighting each other, Chad. A 22-year-old and a 24-year-old putting it on the line that young, that would never happen today unless these fighters push the issue. That would never happen today. But these two are pushing the issue. Hey, Coach, that's not Coach Squeeze, Senior. You the fast man on the trigger. Me and Coach Squeeze, we old on the trigger. Do me a favor. Go on your phone and just say Google search Xander Zayas versus Jalil Hackett probability. That's the AI jump. I told you I got taught about the AI.
You got some coming.
And what it tell you?
Hold up, we just said something. Team Hackett is attempting to arrange
I can't believe I almost got tricked into paying $5,000.
Fight for Zayas. You can't see
yeah. When you do that AI search, when you say AI, what's the probability of Jalil Hackett versus Xander Zayas? AI tell you, man, that's shit. They like that for 25, 26.
Show you.
AI bases that on what y'all put into the AI probability joint. That means people looking for it.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up.
My other phone was ringing. I was trying to.
I can't believe.
It say as of September 26th, no official fight schedule. But Jalil can't express strong interest in a matchup.
And once again, if you looking at this a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, it would have said nothing. That's how I'm looking at this shit. Like it's getting its own sting. That's what we. That's what we getting. It's getting its own sting. While no official AI probability for Jalil Hackett and Xander Zayas about exists, Xander is a heavy favorite based on his undefeated record, superior experience against higher caliber opponent, and recent world title win. Hackett's a highly regarded prospect, but would be taking a significant step up in competition against a more experienced Zayas. Once again, a week ago, it don't say nothing, but it's giving you probabilities. You gotta look at this stuff and think why the fans don't want it. The Puerto Rican fans, like I said, I love the Puerto Rican fans. The Puerto Rican fans is great because they turned that foolishness away with Santilli. We got to get somebody better. Cause why? Because they know boxing. Puerto Rican fans, Mexican fans, they old school boxing fans. They know the sport of boxing. A lot of our old school boxing fans, like I said before, we've gotten older. We don't really know how to navigate social media, but we've gotten older. These young fans, Tank ushered in the rock star era. He ushered in a rock star era. And I think that's why he takes some of the play from some of the other guys. You know, like the Shakur Stevenses, the Devin Haney's, those are good fighters. In the era of just boxing, they all share the same spotlight. But Tank ushered in a rock star. He ushered in a rock star era. The way they dress, the way they act, the way they portray stuff, Tank ushered that in. The last era was Floyd. He ushered in that big money era, the Rolls Royce era. These dudes, each era got its own thing.
You still there, Squeeze? Or you still there, Mr. Bernard?
Yeah, we here.
Oh, it cut out. It cut out. I couldn't hear you on the last thing you said.
Oh, when I'm saying about the eras, this era that we live in now, and I only say coming to a close when we start looking at the guys looking at retirement. This ain't something I'm saying. Tank has even said, "Hey, I got 3 more fights, 5 more fights." When you think about it, that's closing a door on an era. When Canelo retires, that's closing a door on the era. When Tank retires, that'll close the door on the era. When Floyd retired, it closed the era on what I call the $1 billion dream. Floyd was the Oprah Winfrey for our generation. Like it's possible for a black man to become a billionaire through his hard work and endeavors. Then the Canelo era said you can come from anywhere on this planet and become a superstar if you can make it to the US. And Shorty became a superstar. This next era is Tank's era. Regardless of what we want to say, it's good fighters in the era. In Tank's era, it ushered in the rock star era. We going to Tank fights and people putting up lighters in the air like we had a UNICEF Save the World joint. I was thinking we was at the We Are the World. They put lighters in the air. That's rock star stuff. I just told a podcast yesterday, from what I've seen in boxing over the different eras, I know I made it if I get Rosie Perez and Madonna to come to my fight. You want to know why? Because when Madonna came to Tank fight, they was like, he made it.
Mm.
When you start turning them type of people out, you made it.
Mm-hmm.
You made it because they don't come out. They don't come out. You got to look that when Floyd Mayweather was in his heyday in the super mega fights, we saw we saw Magic Johnson, Denzel Washington, Billy Crystal, all them dudes at the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the celebrities that we saw on TV. Now, with this generation, we seeing all the rappers. We seeing all the social media guys who made it on social media. Those guys coming out. And they saying, yeah, we made it. But when Tank brought Madonna out, when she took her time and came to a fight, you made it on a different level. You made it on a different level. And that's the era when Shawty walk away, we gonna miss that era, just like we miss each of the other eras. And if boxing is thinking like that, who's the next era? We got to be making the fights with the young guys to create the next era. That's just real. Devin Haney a good fighter, Shakur a good fighter, but they never had an era. They were good fighters, but they never had an era. They were in the Gervonta Davis era. That's just the true bill. Who is the rock star of the next era? Because no matter how much the promoter try to push one person, at the end of the day, the people choose who is the next rock star.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fans. Because if they don't spend their money, you don't make a rock star. That's the truth. And every time we lose one, we miss them. All the stuff they talked about Floyd, when Floyd stepped away, it was a lull for a while. Like, damn, we need a Floyd fight. Canelo's era, don't badmouth Canelo, because when he gone, you're gonna miss him. You're gonna miss him. Because after him, who's the next era? Bud Crawford is the best fighter on the planet now. He created that situation by beating Canelo. But at the end of the day, who's the next rock star? When Tank gone, who's the next rock star? We got to be creating that now. That's your job to create the next rock star. That's your job. Bill Haney, one of the best spokesmen for a fighter. But no matter what he spoke about, Devin never became a rock star. And he's a good fighter, but not a rock star. But he's a moneymaker. In his own right, he makes money. But he need a dance partner to make money. Tank don't need no dance partner. Canelo didn't need no dance partner. Floyd didn't need no dance partner. Roy Jones didn't need no dance partner. Oscar De La Hoya didn't need no dance partner. Muhammad Ali didn't need no dance partner. Sugar Ray Leonard didn't need no dance partner. Those are rock stars. They at a different level. Who is the next rock star?
Mm-hmm.
It's that time. Nah, don't say because you part of making that next rock star. Don't you do that. You part of the social media chat. I didn't put this shoe on your foot. Y'all did. Your success, along with Fight Hype, along with JBT, along with all the other successful podcasters, y'all said give us the responsibility of grooming the next star. Y'all groomed tight. Y'all did all that. Who the next one? That's up to y'all. The fans don't know every fighter like y'all do. We hop on the guys that you put before our face. Who introduced us to Monster in a way? Social media. That's just a fact. When the last time you watched the news on channel 579 or any of that? In a while. Because you can get all the news from where? Social media.
Yes, sir.
So that's why I'm any social media. I don't care if you ain't got but 500 followers. You call and want to do an interview with Team Hackett, you gonna get it. Because I understand how this game is run. It's 500 small guys that got 500 people that follow them. If I get on all of their joints, then you all, the Rize podcast, will say, hey, bring me on the hit. When we make the rounds with you and the other social medias that's at 100,000, 200,000, couple 100,000, then guess what? The million plus podcasters say, hey, we need to get you on our platform. But that don't happen if the fire don't get started by the 500 guys. We making the rounds. We making the rounds because we understand that you all create the next rock star. The next rock star, listen here, let me tell you some crazy shit. The next rock star might be the dude that ride the bus, but he got $1 million. Think about it. Floyd was in the Rolls Royce. Sugar Ray Leonard was in the Rolls Royce. Muhammad Ali was walking amongst the people. He was the biggest rock star that we know in this sport, and he walked amongst the people. Now, Roy Jones was a country boy. Ray Leonard was a Rolls Royce guy. Floyd Mayweather was the private jet guy. Tank is the rock star. The next one is the humble guy that got the money, but he carries himself like Muhammad Ali. Remember the old saying, your great-grandfather walked 20 miles to school. Your grandfather rode a bike to school. Your father got a ride in a car to school, and you was walking to school. It gets so good until it got to start itself over.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mentality of society. We want to elevate everybody. But then after we get tired of elevating everybody, then we want somebody that comes from us, the regular guy. Why you think the Puerto Rican people love Xander Zayas? He was born on the island, was there for 11 years, and he came to Florida. He's one of the regular people. Why you think they love Jalil so much? We live in the heart of D.C., Southeast. And he went to school, public school. Why you think they love Tank so much? Because he came from the trenches of Baltimore. And look what he became. But remember, he was the last one that had to say, I'm going to be different. His different was becoming a rock star. When you see black kids wearing Nirvana shirts, come on, Chad. When did you see black kids start wearing rock group shirts? When Tank started wearing. That's when you started seeing that stuff. So now they've run the cycle, and Jalil's generation, they the thrift store generation. Them kids that go to the thrift store and shop in the thrift store and tell their friends, I got this from the thrift store secondhand. Not because they broke, but because when you reset, their values are different. They're not looking for Rolls Royces. They're not looking for private jets. They reset the standard. That next star will be on the bus. That next star will go in the store by himself and buy his food. And he's going to enjoy when people come to him. Hey, champ, can I get a picture? Remember back in the day we would see them guys, hey, champ, can I get a picture? Man, sure, brother. He ain't had no entourage or nothing because he was amongst the people. That's where the next one going to come from. Jalil and Xander, when you see them, they don't have 30 bodyguards around them. When you see the Mason brothers, it's just the Mason brothers. They don't have 30 bodyguards around them because that has reset itself. This next generation is waiting for that blockbuster fight that says it's okay for us to be us. Remember when Jalil first turned pro and he had that, he was sending the t-shirts to all the young fighters, no matter the promotion company, they was the young guns. No, it wasn't who your promoter was. It was we willing to fight each other. We here for that. They actually want to be kings again. They don't look at it as getting rich. They saying, I want to be the king. I want people to look at me as the king. That's where they at. Jalil and Xander will usher in the next wave of what boxing will be. It's going to go back to the old days where you trained in your gym.
On that note, Mr. Bernard, look, if you had to look into the camera, and we're going to close with this. If Xander Zayas was watching this, his people strolling the internet and seeing this episode of the Rize podcast, what would be your message to him?
Xander Zayas is a young lion. Jalil Hackett is a young lion. You two are blessed to be in a situation that most aren't in. They're in a situation where we can usher in the next wave of how boxing goes for 10 or 15 years. You two have been put in the perfect storm. The perfect storm is two 22-year-olds with relatively the same experience level from the amateurs and the pros who are willing to put it all on the line and have the chance to reset the boxing market. Xander, I know, is interested. Jalil, I know, is interested. Both teams need to come together and make this happen sooner than later. It'll be 2.0, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns 1.
Senior, closing arguments.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all tag Xander Zayas. Make sure y'all tag Xander Zayas and his team and let them know we want smoke.
All right, my message to Xander Zayas. Mr. Bernard had to be a little political, but not me. Xander Zayas, I'm looking you into your eyes right now. You say you're a young lion. You got a country behind you. Jalil Major Hackett has a big following in the community of boxing analysts and experts and lovers of the grind behind him. Let's make this fight happen, man. And let's get the people what they want to see. On that note, Mr. Bernard, always a pleasure. We was spitting tonight. I ain't want to cut you off. You was giving some jewels for free. So we had to let you cook. Once you get off here, you can go ahead and eat because the food's been prepared.
Man, I bless you all. I thank you all. And I appreciate you all giving us your platform. Jalil, when he was able to be here till his phone died, giving me your platform. And like I say, you all control what happens in boxing. And please push this so that the new era understands where we're going.
Peace.
Peace.
Some say you forgive, but don't forget it. Now you know how we do. Lock that back door, don't let no one through. I told Michi in these streets ain't no rules. He say, cuz all this life we ain't choose. Yeah. And I understand that this shit wasn't easy, but nigga, we did it. Yeah. And all them hoes and all them niggas that wasn't fucking with us, then we them niggas. And now we rich now. We got money. I don't give a shit, no. And we did it. Young nigga come up from nothing, now he getting to them riches. And it's the life of a young rich nigga.